Good morning, everyone. Tuesday again. So today I'm challenging myself to do a page layout in blue and yellow. So we shall see. I have all of the things that might have some blue and yellow on it gathered up and a picture I wanted to scrap, and then little containers for blue and yellow ephemera or whatever, you know little bits that I've collected over time. And yeah, so I think what I'll do is I will use yellow as my background. It's a nice soft kind of buttery yellow. I had thought about doing like maybe a deeper yellow, but I think this yellow would look quite nice with the photograph because the photograph has more of a citrusy yellow. So I thought this one would be pretty good for this. So anyway, that's what we're starting with. I've had this photograph for quite some time. July 2003, there you go, quite some time. And yeah, I've been meaning to scrap it for, well, ages really. I don't know if I want to, I think I'll just leave it like that. I kind of like that little bit of blank space by her face. This is my youngest. She was only a couple of years old. And we were at a picnic and she was just enjoying herself. She was very much an observer when she was little. She didn't really like to join much, but observing was definitely her cup of tea. Anyway, so I hope everybody had a great weekend. The weather was nice and we were in the pool on Sunday, believe it or not. It was actually nice to have a barbecue and be actually in the pool, which was great. And then last night we had a storm. So, Mother Nature is still kind of iffy on the whole spring department. So we'll see how that goes. So blue and yellow. So in this case, I'm keeping my background yellow, obviously. Well done, Sasha. And then, so I think most of my accents will obviously be in the blue department, but I don't want it to be dark, so it'll be more like the aquas and the teals, I think, for the most part. But I had thought I could do something even amongst this. So it does have yellow in it, but it's not too in your face kind of thing. I kind of like the whole script part and whatnot else. I think they would make a great little background for a lot of this. So the softer colors, I think. I could go really like dark blue. I had thought about it, but I changed my mind. So it's just a question of where do I want to orient this. It's going to be a single page layout, but I think what I'll do is I will put it right dead center. It just seems to me the best way to do it for today. Yeah, I didn't plan this out ahead of time. I hadn't really thought about it much, so I thought I would just sort of experiment and do this kind of, in real time kind of thing. I think sometimes, it is a bit more fun that way. But I love the yellow and the blue. I don't think I need to do too much with that. I like the idea of doing shapes and things like that. Oh, Punch likes to grab onto things. So yeah, like I said, I hope everyone's weekend was good. We did my daughter's bridal shower. Well, her aunt did. So kudos to her aunt for putting that all together. I'm not really much of a planner myself. as you can tell. I'm more of a fly by the seat of your pants kind of gal. And planning leaves a lot to be desired for me. So I think it's one of those things. It's definitely not my strong suit, unfortunately. And I've been into, you know, some troubled waters because of it, but it's all right. I don't think everything needs to be planned in life. But anyway, I thought it would be fun to sort of, you know, do circles and things like that. Now, I don't know if I want to do these, so I think what I'll do, keep her here and just sort of play with it a bit. Again, you know, I look on Pinterest and I see different things that I would like to try, and I sort of have an idea of where I want to go with it, but it doesn't mean it's always going to be in that kind of way. So I don't know. Now it seems to sort of go to one side. I don't know. See, that's part of play, right? Just sort of seeing how the design will want to go together. I think in this case, I do like the orientation of it onto one side. But I do think it needs a little bit more of this tealy aqua blue. I don't know. Don't think I want them touching each other too much. I thought about doing it in squares and just doing really kind of grid work, which I've done in the past. I really do like that. But I think in this case, okay, you know what? There comes a point where you got to stick things down. Like I always say, I think we will orient it off to one side a bit. I could ink the edges. I have, you know, done in the past where I like that idea. But in this case, I want everything to be very soft and subtle. I will overlap just a little bit. So it's just a question of having the lines go one way or the other. And it's okay that it's a little bit off there, which is fine. I'm okay with that. This one, I don't know where there it is. Oh, hello. I don't know. I just thought I would do something sort of, you know, different in this case. But now that I'm thinking about it, I like the idea of inking some of the edges. See what I mean? But that's the beauty of scrapbooking, right? You can just sort of go as you go and just have fun with it. There is no real written rule anywhere that you have to do this and that and the other. So again, you know, I think I will orient this off to the left. And it's okay if it's not all thought out 100%. Kind of like the idea of, you know, as you go kind of thing. So that'll take care of that. Let's see. I still have some of these little bits of scrap left over, which I think would still look quite nice on here because it adds a little bit more interest. You know, use up your scraps as much as you can. It's okay. Nothing is perfect in life. But I like the imperfectness of scrap pieces. Definitely adds a lot more texture to it. You don't have to be too precise. Again, you know, it's just about playing in proportion. And it does frame her quite nicely. And this has a little bit of a sheen to it, so I think it works quite well. Now this is quite a bright yellow. Whether or not I'll use that is probably not going to happen in this case. I kind of like the blue and the yellow sort of this way, and then just sort of playing with different dimensions. So these are just some cutouts. I try to do some die cuts ahead of time so I can have them on hand for different projects and stuff. So when I have the die machine out or whatever, I'll do a few of them. Maybe we'll save those for a little bit later on. Okay. So, yeah. I always cut the tops of these off, and then it's easier to slip these in and out, usually. But yeah, here we have some yellow. I really like these. And I have 3, look at that. And now it's just a question of playing. I do have, I've had these forever, but there's some blue and yellow in here. And I thought, you know, because they're square and rectangular, it'd be kind of cool to use them for this kind of application. I don't really have a title in mind, so I think these will work as, you know, kind of like mini journaling cards or whatever. So this says perfect happiness. And because there's all this blank space here and this is all circular, I think these will work well together. Oops. Sometimes it does not want to work. There we go. So I think down here a bit. There we go. Looks pretty cool. I like the square and the circle, the juxtaposition of both. And I could do love if I wanted to. Down here. Oh, maybe up here. I think I'll save that for up here, because it mimics the shape of the photograph, which I kind of like. So I think I'll do that up there. Again, you know, playing is half the fun. I'll do a little banner cut. Oops. Things sometimes do not want to work when you want it to. I like that little bit of extra yellow. You could use washi tape for this too, if you had the right kind of washi tape. Paper crimper, that would work nicely also. I think that would look kind of cute. But in this case, we're going to use the one for sure, and I think this one's a bit too long. We'll cut that one down. I've seen a lot of different pages and things like that, just sort of, you know, when I first started scrapbooking, it was very much about measurements and just making sure that everything lined up perfectly, and you know, the cuts were done a certain way and the page had to be filled as, not that it had to be, but that's generally how it was, and it just really kind of drove me a little crazy. I kind of like the scrapbookers now, you know, you look at Mercy Tiara and a bunch of the other ones, you know, they do very loosely interpreted pages for different, you know, reasons, but I like the looseness of it, and that's half the fun. is being able to, you know, have a little bit of fun with it. Not everything has to be, you know, and this way we add a little bit of metal too, which is kind of nice. So I like the idea of doing just, you know, 2 different colors and seeing what you can come up with. So, I mean, that's a pretty bright yellow. And that's more of a tealy blue. I don't want to do that. So either a dark blue or, oh, you know what? We could do a bit of a dark blue because I think I'll add a pop of interest here. So if we do one here, just very random. It just keeps, you know, your eye going around the page. And I think that's what you try to achieve when you do any of these pages, because you want your eye to sort of wander around. So, and that is okay. And we are getting along in time here. Okay, let's see if I can do this. I have no idea how much time is left on my phone. Sorry about that. It's a hit and miss sometimes. There. See what I mean about it just sort of drawing your eye and just having fun with it. And not everything has to be a certain way, which is the beauty of it too, because you can just sort of play, right? But just keep drawing your eye around and around, which is what I like. I thought about using different things, you know, it's like, this is where you can use your one-off kind of things. So this one is dreams. You just sort of add it wherever you want instead of doing, you know, too much journaling. I really don't do a whole lot of journaling on my pages. Oops. But just adding it wherever. And these are sometimes odd anyway, so it's kind of nice to just plunk them wherever you want to. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if I want to do it there or not. I don't want it to be too heavy in one area. See what I mean? You can just sort of get too caught up in it, and sometimes you have too much. I don't know. It does need another one though, because we get 2 of these and 2 of those. We need something else. I don't know. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, here we go. Fun in the sun. Oh, maybe not. I love summer. It was in the summertime, so maybe we'll do that. I just got these at the dollar store. Dollar Tree to be exact. It's not, see how this is kind of a bright yellow. Maybe something a little bit softer. There we go. Such a beautiful day. That's the one we need. And it's got a softer yellow to it. And that's what we need. We need one more little thing right there. And it brings the black from the trim that we put on there. So that's kind of cool. And it does have some little yellow hearts. Or one yellow heart. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think that's an issue. No, we do have another one. Look at that. Sometimes subtlety is okay. And sometimes, you know, you have these sheets that have all these little bits left over on them. You'd probably use those if you wanted to, in the right context, of course, but, you know, I think now we need a little bit of glitter. Nothing wrong with a bit of glitter. Just to sort of fill out the hearts in here. I think that is pretty much it. There. I think that'll do. And then it's just a question of doing a little bit of outlining. And that's it. I could use the other, I like this paper because it has a texture to it. So that's kind of nice. Let's see how much noise it makes. It's kind of cool how it just sort of, you know, leaves a little bit of extra behind. You could obviously stitch on here if you wanted to. That's okay too. I could put one over here if I wanted to. But I think I'm going to leave it like this. So yeah, finally scrapped it. I think it looks pretty cool. I like how it turned out. Blue and yellow, who knew? And you can mix your blues, that's okay too. So, and not everything needs to be documented 100%, but it turned out well. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.